Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Michaela Peters. Today I'm going to talk briefly about how hard the last 9 months has been. I don't even know where to start. It's raining so badly, and this is one of the days where I wish I was just staying inside my house the whole day, but unfortunately I already made plans, and unfortunately I already decided that today was the day that I needed to deal with being locked out of my S-Bank account because my other phone screen got cracked, and I really need to mobile pay somebody for something. Luckily, I already paid my rent for the month, so that's not a problem. If the electricity bill were to come, that would be a problem, as long as it wasn't due very soon. But anyway, I gotta go take care of that today. There are other things I need to do, like meal prepping and freezing that food. That's the biggest thing I'm having a really hard time getting myself to do, and I still don't fully understand why I'm having such a hard time getting myself to do that. Good question. I used to be really into cooking, and recently that's sort of gone away. But anyway, lots of thoughts this morning, and I've been trying to sleep as much as is humanly possible. So I've been sleeping like 9 to 10 hours every night, in anticipation of not being able to sleep for the rest of my life now. Whatever, I've already not been sleeping very well for the last 2 years, so I'm sure it will be no different. But anyway, well, as my dad always says, you'll sleep when you're tired. So there's that. But what I want to talk about a little bit before I got to go run and catch the bus is, like this whole process is very difficult. Also, it's like I'm trying to get to a point where I'm balancing asking people for help versus independently handling things, which somebody wrote in one of the comments like, oh, Michaela, you're becoming more and more Finnish because of whatever it even was, not caring what people think. And now I'm like, I don't want to ask for help, which is also very Finnish. And if you're not Finnish and you're watching this, that's a whole nother topic to discuss. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out, like, I have relatives who want to come out and visit me right now. I'm trying to figure out, like, how to manage that in my tiny apartment. I'm going to need the help, but I'm also, like, really worried about how overwhelmed I'm going to be, like, hosting guests kind of thing. Like, I'm wondering if it would just be easier to recruit local help and just have people come over, like, on an hour-to-hour basis, which apparently a compromise for this would be having relatives come, but, like, not necessarily stay with me. And, yeah, so all these things. My roommate is in Helsinki, but that will change pretty soon once actually it will be like a month after the baby's born, but yeah. Also, how is this roommate going to deal with baby? We're going to find out. We're going to see what the tolerance level is there. But anyway, all these things trying to, like, keep track of, it's pretty difficult, but I'd say there are just also a lot of things that start happening to your body. Obviously, people know this, that make it very difficult. I'm remote, so it's been pretty good for me to pretend in most situations that I am not, currently with child. For instance, I've been working on selling insurance as my 500th side gig, and yesterday I finally told the guy, like, hey, I may need to disappear for a little bit of time because blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what? You mean you've been doing this the whole time like this? I'm like, well, I mean, yeah. Like, all the things I've been doing, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but to me, okay, what's actually difficult about this? Gaining weight is uncomfortable. I am so happy I'm not normally this overweight. I don't know how I would deal with that. I wouldn't. I would just stop eating. No, I mean, not really, but I would lose weight. So being fat, it's not fat. No, I feel fat. Okay, that's how I feel about it. That sucks. What else do I not like? Alright, this is a weird thing to explain, but, generally when you're coming up, and they're still doing construction even though it's raining, wild. I can't wait till this construction's over, because it's not fun. It's, like, one thing I regret about being here this summer. But anyway, sometimes when it's approaching this certain time of month for women, you just, like, everything starts pissing you off and you don't really know why. Instead of that being once a month, it just feels like every day, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So, like, your tolerance for things that normally don't bother you, it goes down quite a bit. And I think most of the time I've been pretty good at keeping it together, with the exception of, like, maybe if I felt like I was being attacked over the housing situation, because that was causing me a great deal of stress. So that'd be the point at which I'd lose it and start yelling, which, again, not proud of, but that's unfortunately what happens when you're raised in a family of Italians. Okay, so other things that were difficult, being really sick at the beginning. It kind of feels like you're hungover, but for, like, every single day for, like, a month or two straight. and you didn't even do anything fun the night before. No, but like seriously, it's just like it feels like you just feel super sick and like you want to throw up in the morning. Yes, morning sickness. So that really was unfortunate. I did not like that. That was hard. And then I was like, how am I going to get through 9 months of this? And you know, the crazy thing is that some people feel that way the entire time. I didn't. I'd say things started to stabilize pretty well around like probably 3.5 to 4 months. And then you start feeling pretty good, I'd say. Like, you didn't gain too much weight yet. You have like a normal amount of energy. Like, things just feel pretty normal. At the end, when you start gaining a lot of weight, I'd say that's the biggest issue. Probably, yeah, the weight thing I think is what's bothering me the most. And the just general annoyance with people, because like I went through kind of all these phases where also like, you know, you start worrying about the future of the unborn child pretty early on. And so I kind of had all these phases of being really worried about like, you know, where we were going to live and like, you know, very long-term future plans. And I was just like, you know what? Every time I've ever made a plan ever in my life, it's never worked out. So I'm just going to stop making plans. I mean, I have a place to live and I have food to eat. And let's be happy with these things, right? I'm pretty sure the Bible says that. Be content with these things. I've majorly thought about just like not traveling very much at all anymore, aside from back and forth to the US and Finland. And something I was telling, the joke I keep making, and I said this yesterday on the Russian side is, and I may have said this, I don't know, man, I forget. Your brain stops working. That was another problem. I basically took like a month off before I was going to give birth because my brain stopped working and I could not do my job at work and it was getting to be very embarrassing and awkward. So I was like, eek, let's not do this. So I think that was also like the stress of moving, and I had a lot of like input from family that was like kind of extra, and I was just not happy with the doctor situation, and it was just like too much. Like it was like at a point it was like the like fuse of my brain just like got blown and like was not working, and then it didn't like come back online, and I hope it does in a few months because it's going to need to, because I'm going to have to start working again. Trying to think what else. Just like, so I used to have this problem when I was living in Armenia in 2018 where I felt like socialed out, and I never really had that problem since then, but I've been experiencing that problem for the last few weeks. Like, I'm still trying to be social and hang out with people, but like, usually I like get excited and want to do that, but now I'm at this point where I'm like, it kind of feels like going to work. And I feel really bad admitting that because I do like people and I like my friends and stuff, but it's just like, there's just something about, kind of reminds me when I was in high school and I was getting ready to run races, and I would just want to go be alone. And I basically just feel like I want to be alone a lot, and I don't really know why. I think I'm like just trying to get in the zone and get focused and make sure everything's like ready. And I still want to work a lot, but I think that's been the habit the whole time. I stopped exercising pretty early. I just didn't feel like it. Don't know what else to say. So yeah. All right. Well, I need to go catch the bus now, but I feel like that's going to be everything for today. Try to keep this short so I can spend more time meal prepping, which I'm trying to get myself to do. Maybe I need to give myself a reward like a cookie or something. We'll see. All right. Until next time. Bye.